In July of 2024, Chris Tillman of Haunted Toledo was contacted by Dan Camp, the proprietor of Wandering Bean Coffee, concerning paranormal activity inside of the building his business was leasing alongside the Patsy Cakes Bakery. Built in 1932, the structure, located in Toledo, Ohio, was once where a branch of the Boyer and Van Warmer Funeral Home operated for roughly 40 years. In a tragic footnote, in 1964, Kenneth Harvey Van Warmer, co-owner and operator of the business at the time, took his own life. While this death occurred at a different location, it is still worth mentioning. In 1983, the Amadon Wells Answering Service purchased the property and named it the Wells Building. Amadon Wells operated there into the 1990s before moving out at some point. Many tenants and small businesses had occupied the building in the years leading up to Wandering Bean Coffee and Patsy Cakes moving in. Chris Tillman invited me along to the coffee house for initial interviews and a brief investigation on July 26, 2024. The atmosphere of the basement and activity witnessed down there by both Dan Camp and Katie Perrin, the owner of Patsy Cakes, intrigued us enough to arrange a follow-up. A month later, on August 23, 2024, I revisited Wandering Bean with AlterWorld's Chris Miller, and we were joined by Chris Tillman. The three of us were accompanied by guest investigator Anthony Zbierajewski, who live-streamed to his Facebook page called the City of Toledo Department of Memes during the course of the night. The following interview with Katie Perrin was filmed after the investigation on October 9th, 2024.
Well, one of the very first things that ever happened when we first started setting up the space to turn it into a coffee shop was that I had noticed that there was a gentleman who likes to stand in the doorway and watches. He typically stands right here. Sometimes he leans against the doorway. Sometimes he's just literally standing there. He's never solid. It's always evident that there is someone there. You can tell what he's wearing, approximately how old he is, the works, but you can see through him. This door likes to open and close on its own. Typically it doesn't latch real well, and you can, without even pulling the handle, pull it open. It's been a little stickier today, so you have had to use it, which is always interesting to see how that happens. But you will hear this door just, and then it'll just, or not. There we go. It'll go to it'll slam shut, and then you'll just see.
Oh wow.
And it'll be totally open. And you can watch it from anywhere else in the shop. It just happens. There's no rhyme or reason for it. There's no way of knowing when it's going to happen. It just does. And then the basement is where 95% of everything takes place. Basement's interesting. The basement is where you can absolutely tell that this used to be two separate buildings that were at some point in time conjoined. These ones are all concrete. The further back you go, they become brick. So you can see where the distinction was between the two. There's the dirt pit that goes to some sort of plumbing out to somewhere, but that's always creepy. Once you get back into here, this is where everything really starts to happen. Get some more light going here so we can see everything. So, the boiler room. There is a gentleman in the boiler room who likes to just kind of stand in the back corner. He doesn't typically leave that space. If he does, though, he paces back and forth through here.
Okay.
And my brother and I have both seen him. And then there's this room. And this one was where the crematorium was. That's what these big openings are for. Was at one point in time there was incinerators and things in here. I don't have a whole lot happen to me down here in the basement, just the one guy that I've seen pacing. Dan has seen a smaller figure that looks to be more like a child. For me, everything mostly happens upstairs. That is where our gentleman friend likes to hang out, so that's where I see him the most frequently.
Alright, people who are in the stream, I don't know where the basement is. Could you say one more time?
If you go through this door right here, you're going to go to the left. There's a hallway. First door on the right.
Cool. Go to the left. Alright, this would be the left. And first door on the right. Okay, it appears to be that door. Alright. This looks welcoming. Oh yes, Silence of the Lambs. Where's Buffalo Bill?
In Bel Air, Ohio, is Ross House.
It rubs the lotion on its skin.
Okay, so that's 2 down.
I'm not even really sure how to introduce myself to a spirit. So there's a device about, 5 feet to my left, which may be reversed for the stream. That apparently can spit out voices and words. I'm not quite sure how. He explained it, but I was too busy not listening. There's only 2 people here, I think. There's so many weird noises already just from people being upstairs. If anyone is down here with me, there's a row of lights just in that corridor that you can interact with. If you touch them, I believe they will change color. I had to drop them to make them do that, but you know, I went to Toledo Public Schools. Alright, it's called Ghost Tube, made by Amy's Crypt. Let's see what this is about. Is there anybody down here with me right now? I'm in the basement of I don't know the name of the funeral home that was here, but it's on Sylvania Avenue in West Toledo. Did that say Anthony, or am I just hearing things? I'm pretty sure I heard it. Oh. What was that? Oh man, you scared the hell out of my soul. Sorry. No, you're good. I just seen figure and I'm like, this is it. Here it comes in 4K. Am I interfering with you?
Oh, you're fine.
You were back here this whole time?
Yeah.
Well, this thing just said my name.
Is that what's been going on?
Yes. Hold on, I gotta turn the light on for a second. I gotta get my bag, which I realize is across the room. I'm gonna leave this device right here. I'm gonna leave it in my chair, and I'm gonna get up and migrate over here real quick. Ooh, in the dark. Actually, you know what? I might move almost out. Hold on a second. Oh, there's a rug right here. I'll move the camera first. Am I with me? Are you with me? Is that what it said? So I'm going to get a little closer. There we go, so that you guys can see that. Oh, there was just movement. Oh, that's so cool. The live stream had to have caught that. But it might have also been me dragging my chair. Whoa. Interesting. Let me see if I can recreate that. No. Okay, so it may not have been my vibration. Well, that's really cool that it caught that. Interesting.
After spending several more minutes alone in the basement and recording further activity from Chris Tillman's tripwire, Anthony was eventually joined by the rest of us as he continued his live stream.
Yeah. You're minding your way?
No.
Okay. There's so many trip hazards in here, it's not even funny.
I'm going to turn this light off until I get back there.
Okay.
I'll go lights out when I get back there.
Yeah, the spirit world, while wonderful and mysterious, it is an extremely interesting topic for me. Because I was talking with Chris from Toledo, I am an extremely large skeptic. I think 99% and or more is absolute hogwash. But I do believe that there are legitimate, the squeaking through the business is operating. Can you hear her? If you're referring to Katie upstairs, yes, I can very much hear her. Can you hear her? Is she still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the squeaking is the there's two people upstairs that are operating a business. Can you set off the tripwire for me? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. So by setting it off, that's a device that you can use. Here, I'll actually example how we can set it off in case someone else is here. So we can go and, for example, right now, I'll pick it up and drop it. Notice it's changing colors. So it seems pretty sensitive. It's gone off 5 times without my doing it. So could you do that for me? Man, it's already been an hour. Jeez. Light? Yeah, light. Yeah, we have a lot of lights around us. Do you want them on or do you want them off? Because I noticed more happened in the dark. It's your choice.
Turn them off. What to do?
We're in the dark.
Make it worth our while. We turn the lights off and we're in a spooky basement.
There we go. So that was the only time that the tripwire went off was in the dark. And I noticed in my life, I've only ever experienced the paranormal during the daylight hours.
There's a theory that...
Oh, there it goes. It went off.
There's a theory that people go investigations better at night because like the world kind of quiets down, people are sleeping,
Interesting.
and when you're in the dream world or the sleep world, you're actually your consciousness is tied into the collective. If that makes sense.
Interesting. I've never thought of that, and I've never heard that theory before. What I find most interesting is every light. Yeah, the lights are off. Our bright lights are off anyway.
Are you talking about the lights on the floor?
Because if my theory is right, because isn't there a doorway around the corner here that goes this way?
Right when you step through the threshold, there'll be a door to your right. I think goes to like a mechanical room.
Interesting.
And then further down, there's another door that'll take you up into the apartment.
Right here.
I think that's kind of like a boiler, hot water room.
Interesting, because it's always right here that the light is.
Well, the last time there was like the first two right there at the threshold.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was getting random EMF spikes back there. I had it just.
Oh, there it
Yep,
goes. Interesting.
Are you following me around?
That must be what's going on. Very interesting.
Is it my Christmas red shirt?
It would have to be.
And now that thing's going silent all of a sudden.
I almost want it to. Because,
My fault.
well, because I don't like it when things are constantly active, because that tells me something is interfering with it potentially.
Right.
So I'm led to believe that there is someone in that room, which is approximately 10 feet in front of me.
There is a gentleman in the boiler room who likes to just kind of stand in the back corner. He doesn't typically leave that space. If he does, though, he paces back and forth through here.
Can you move something in there or make this tripwire go off to prove that? Oh, wow.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you very much. Can you move an object in that room or even set off, there's an EMF meter as well as a temperature sensor, that's what it is,
Yeah.
on that paint can. Brittany says maybe asking it if it's a man or a woman will light up the wire. Are you a man or a woman? Oh. Light the wire up if you're a man. If you're a woman, could you, in some way, make that tool light up? Are you not a man or a woman? Oh, okay. Interesting.
Different ends of the tripwire.
Interesting. So if you're not a man or a woman, what are you? Huh. Oh, wow. Okay.
With the tripwire indicating so much activity and lending support to Katie's account of an entity that paced back and forth through that area, I eventually moved static camera number 1 into the boiler room. The position of the tripwire was also adjusted to better align with the entity's presumed path in and out of the room. However, activity declined considerably over the next hour, especially after we crowded into the boiler room area for spirit box and EVP sessions. It appeared that whatever may have been in the basement had been responding to Anthony the most. So with all of this in mind, we decided to leave Anthony alone in the basement once again as he carried on with his live stream. While we watched and listened to the stream upstairs alongside Dan and Katie, Anthony tried to evoke more responses from the possible haunting by informing it of an internet catchphrase that went viral 2 months before.
Right, okay, so we're going to get into what a Haktua is. So a little bit ago, this female was interviewed by God knows who. About God knows what, and they asked her about sexual encounters, and asked her how she prefers to perform them. I can't believe I'm doing this. And she exclaimed in the most respectful way she could muster. She said, you got a Haktua, referring to spitting. That's what she meant by that. And she exclaimed, you need to spit on that thing, probably referring to a penis. I mean, I suppose a vagina could do it too. It's 2024, anything works. And anyway, you're probably wondering why that's relevant. So, for no reason that I can explain, I literally woke up one day to people sending me pictures of this girl I've never even seen in my life. And I'm like, what is this garbage? It was a pile of hot garbage. Again, if you don't want to hear this, please interact with this tool in the floor, light it up. Now, we'll get that. Back to the discussion. I digress. So anyway, I wake up in the morning, and I see all these pictures of this girl going, hark to us, spit on the thing.
It seemed that we were not the only ones amused by Anthony's humor. Right after he says, it was a pile of hot garbage, what sounds like a laugh was recorded on his live stream audio.
And I'm like, what is this garbage? It was a pile of hot garbage. It was a pile of hot garbage.
What makes this possible EVP more intriguing is the fact that static camera number 1, moved from its original position to the boiler room earlier, did not record it. This camera was the closest to Anthony's position when he captured the laugh.
And I'm like, what is this garbage? It was a pile of hot garbage.
And no one upstairs was laughing loudly at the moment this possible EVP was recorded. Keep in mind that we can't completely rule out that this laugh may have come from another source, possibly from someone outside. But the timing of its occurrence, the fact that it also should have been recorded on another camera but wasn't, and the brief silence from most of the group upstairs as it happened has us leaning toward the conclusion that it is a genuine EVP. However, you are welcome to take the evidence for what it is and make your own judgment on what it could be. Whatever it is that may roam inside the basement and the halls of the Wells building, we feel that we only scratched the surface of who or what it might be. Wandering Bean and Patsy Cakes have both since moved out of the location, leaving us to wonder if future businesses and tenants alike will encounter the same presence, and whether or not we'll ever return to make contact with it again.